This video shows you how to create a new project, enter data for a load calculation, and view reports in RHVAC Online. Click the File menu. Now click New Project. Since this is our first project, we will create a new project from scratch. Click None to proceed. Once you have finished a project, you will sometimes want to copy things like project, company, and outdoor design to save you from having to enter the same data repeatedly. Click Create New Project to create your new blank project. Enter a title for the project. And enter your name in the Design By box. At this point, you would normally enter client and company information, but we'll skip that for this demo. Next, let's select our design city. Click the Loads menu. Click Outdoor Design Conditions. Click Select City to select a city from over 2,500 cities in the weather database. We will be selecting Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Click the Select button for United States. Click Select for the state of Pennsylvania to select from all the cities available in the state. And finally, click Select for Harrisburg. Notice that the latitude, elevation, and other inputs have been filled in from the data for Harrisburg. Next, we'll go to the default room data page. Click the Loads menu. Click Default Room Data. On the default room data page, you only need to fill in some of the dimension inputs, while others you can ignore. For example, you should enter the default room height, wall height, window width and height, and door width and height. You can ignore all the other dimension inputs on the default room data page. Now let's select some default materials for this page. Click the Material button for the default floor. Click the Select button for floor type 19 over enclosed crawl space / basement. Now select the category 19A. Finally, select floor material 19A-19P. We'll now continue with selecting defaults for the other kinds of materials. Click the Material button for the default roof. Click Select for roof type 16. Click Select for roof category 16CR. And finally, click the Select button for roof material 16CR-19. Click the Material button under Walls so we can select a default wall material. Click Select for wall type 12, Frame. Click the Select button for wall category 12B. And finally, click the Select button for wall material 12B-4SW. The wall height is one of the few dimension inputs on default room data that you should fill in. Click in the Wall Height box and enter 8 feet. Click the Material button to select a default glass material. Click the Select button for Window. Select the 1A category. And finally, select the glass material 1A-CW-O. For the default glass, enter a default width and height. Now click the Material button for doors to select a default door material. Select 11G for the default door material. Enter width and height for the default door. Now let's enter the actual room data. Click the Loads menu. Click Room Data. When we opened the room data page, a room was automatically created. Click in the room name input and type in Living Room. Now let's enter dimensions for the room. Now let's enter 2 people for this room. And let's enter 300 BTUH of sensible equipment gain. Click the Select button. There are 6 blank equipment item rows available for you to enter data. Click the Edit button for row 1. Entering a description in the item name column is optional. Let's enter MISC in that column. And now enter 300 BTUH of sensible gain for this item. To save our changes for row 1, click the Update button. That will take the row out of edit mode. Now let's return to the room data page. The living room in this house has two different floors, a slab and a floor over an open crawl space. Click the Material button to select the material for the slab part of the floor. Click to select 22, Slab on Grade. Select 22C for the category. And finally, select material 22C-10PH for the slab floor. Now enter the dimensions of the floor. We can enter all dimensions, but the perimeter is the only one that matters for a slab floor. We need to enter the other floor in this room, so click the Material button for floor row 2. Select Type 20 and select Category 20P. And finally, select 20P-19 for the floor material. Enter the dimensions for floor 2. Since it's not a slab floor, the perimeter isn't necessary. Click the Material button for roof 1. Select Type 16. Select the category 16CR. And finally, select 16CR-19 for the roof material. Enter the roof dimensions. This roof contains a skylight, so we need to be sure and enter the direction since it affects the load on the glass. Click the direction input. Click E to change the direction to east. We have 3 walls to enter for this room. Click the M button for the first wall. Select wall type 12. Select the category 12B. And finally, select wall material 12B-4SW. Now enter this wall's length and height. Wall 2 is the same material as wall 1, so to save time, we can click the Copy Above Wall button. Wall 2 faces east, so click the direction input. Now click E to set the direction to east. Wall 3 is also the same material, so click the Copy Above Wall button for row 3. Now change the dimensions and direction. There are 4 glass items in the living room. Click the Material button to select the first glass material. This glass is a window, so select Window. Select 1G for the glass category. Select 1G-CM-S for the glass material. Now enter the window width and height. This window is in wall number 1 in this room, so enter 1 for the reference input. Glass 2 is also a window, but has a different material than glass 1, so click the Material button in row 2. This glass is also a window. The category is 1C. And finally, select the material 1C-CB. Enter the window's dimensions. This window is in east-facing wall number 2 in this room, so enter 2 for the reference. Glass 3 happens to be the same as the default glass in this project, so click the Insert Default Glass button in row 3. The width of glass 3 is different from the default, so change the width. This window is in south-facing wall 3 in this room, so change the reference input to 3. Glass 4 in the living room is a skylight. Click the Material button. Select Skylight for the type. The category for this skylight is 9BC. And finally, select 9BC-SWW for the skylight material. Now enter the dimensions of the skylight. The skylight is in roof number 1 in this room, so enter 1 for the reference input. The first 2 windows in this room have overhangs, so enter the overhang dimensions for windows 1 and 2. This room has a door, so click the Material button for door 1. Select 11F for the door material. The door is 3 feet wide by 7 feet high. The door is in south-facing wall 3 in this room, so enter 3 for the reference input. Now we'll add a second room. First, click the Room menu and click Add Room. This room is the kitchen. Enter the dimensions of the room. Enter 1 person for this room. This kitchen has 1200 BTUH of sensible equipment and 300 BTUH of latent equipment. Click Select to enter these values. Click Edit to edit equipment row 1. Again, we'll enter MISC for the optional item name input. Now we'll enter 1200 sensible and 300 latent. To save the changes we just made, click the Update button. Click Return to Room Data to continue entering data for the kitchen. The kitchen has 1 floor material, so click the Material button. Select 20 for the floor type. Select 20P for the floor category. And finally, select 20P-13 for the floor material. Enter the floor dimensions. Remember that perimeter is not needed unless the floor is a slab. The kitchen has 1 roof material, so click the M button for roof 1. Select 16 for the roof type. Select 16CR for the roof category. And finally, select 16CR-19 for the roof material. Now enter the roof dimensions. The kitchen has 2 exterior walls. Click the Material button for wall 1. The wall type is 12. The category is 12B. And finally, select 12B-OSW for the wall material. Now enter the length and height of the wall. Wall 2 in the kitchen is of the same material as wall 1, so click the Copy Above Wall button for row 2. The length of wall 2 is different from that of wall 1. And wall 2 faces west. Click W to make this wall face west. The kitchen has 1 window and it's in the north-facing wall. Click the Select Glass Material button for glass 1. Select the type as window. Select 1G for the window category. And finally, select 1G-CM-S for the window material. Enter the width and height for this window. This window is in wall 1 in this room, so enter 1 for the reference input. This window has an overhang that projects out 3 feet from the wall and is 1 foot above the window. Now create room 3. Click the Room menu. Click Add Room. The third room is the bedroom. Enter the dimensions of the room. Enter 2 people for this room. Now we need to enter 500 BTUH of latent equipment for the bedroom. Click Select. Click Edit to put Equipment Row 1 into editing mode. Remember that the item name is optional. Enter MISC for the item name. Now enter 500 BTUH of latent load. Click the Update button to save your changes for Row 1. Click Return to Room Data to continue entering data for the bedroom. The bedroom has one floor material. Click the Material button to select the floor material. Select Type 20. Select 20P for the floor category. And finally, select Roof Material 20P-19. Once again, enter the width and length of the floor. The bedroom has two roof materials. Click the M button to select the material for Roof 1. Select Roof Type 16. Select Category 16CR. And finally, select Roof Material 16CR-19. Enter this roof's dimensions. Click the Material button for Roof 2. Select Roof Type 16 again. Select Roof Category 16B. And finally, select Roof Material 16B-21. Now enter the dimensions of Roof 2. The bedroom has 3 exterior walls. Click the Material button to select the material for Wall 1. Select Wall Type 12. And select Wall Category 12B. And finally, select Wall Material 12B-OSW. Enter the wall dimensions. Click the Direction box to set the direction the wall faces. Now click W to set the direction to west. Wall 2 is the same material as Wall 1, so click the Copy Above Wall button for Wall 2. Click to change the direction. Set the direction to south. Wall 3 is of the same material again, so click the Copy Above Wall button for Wall 3. Change the length of Wall 3. Click to change the direction for Wall 3. Set the direction of Wall 3 to east. The bedroom has 2 windows. Click the Select Glass Material button for Glass 1. Select Window for the glass type. Select Category 1C. And finally, select Glass Material 1C-CM. Enter the window dimensions next. This window is in Wall 1 in this room, so enter 1 for the reference input. Enter the overhang offset and projection. Glass 2 is of the same material as Glass 1, so click the Copy Above Glass button for Row 2. This window is in south-facing Wall 2, so change the reference input to 2. Now let's enter some of the system data. Click the Loads menu. Click System Data. Enter a name for the system. The default indoor temperatures, relative humidities, and coil delta T values are all fine for this example, so leave them unchanged. Click Select to enter the infiltration value. The Manual J option is selected by default, so let's leave it that way. The only option we need to change in this example is construction tightness. Select Semi-Loose for the tightness. In order to set the summer options for infiltration to be the same as winter, click Copy to Summer. Click the Season option to confirm that the summer options are the same. We can see that the construction tightness for summer is also set to semi-loose. Click Return to System Data. We can set the duct load factors now, too. Click the Set button. Each system can use up to 5 duct load factor scenarios. In this example, we are only using scenario 1. Let's name it Main. To set the duct surface area for the supply side, click the Calculate button. Here we can see that the surface area is being determined by the ASHRAE Standard 152 method, the simplest. We can also see that the checkbox to keep the surface area updated automatically is checked. Click OK to return to the duct load factors page. Click to return to the system data page. Now let's see about generating reports. Click the File menu. Click Select Reports. In the Evaluation of Project box, we can see that there is a warning that glass number 4 in room number 1 has a problem. Click the Loads menu. Click Room Data. The problem is in room 1, so click the room number box. Now click Living Room. Now click the Glass Options button for the problem glass. Since the roof that the skylight is in faces east and not up, the skylight tilt has to be at an angle greater than 0. Select 30 degrees. Click Return to Room Data. Now let's return to the Select Reports page and see whether there are any more warnings or errors. Click the File menu. Click Select Reports. We can see that the Evaluation of Project box now shows no errors or warnings. Click Create Reports PDF. Click OK to open the PDF file showing the reports. Click Next Page. Thanks for watching.